Here we go on another beautiful bridge cable job up in Trenton, New Jersey. Best corn in the United States. So what happens when we're doing a rough in, we have to go and put our cables in pretty high. So you can see that's a typical door frame. You can get the footage. Ooch, it's way up there. Now what they're gonna do is, this is a low ceiling, but as we walk into here, here's reception area. You're gonna see it's all the way up top. So what happens is we have to run the wire, bring it down, and then walk it out for the cubicles. Now we can't just lay the cable down there. We're gonna have to go ahead and put service loops up there. I'll leave these guys alone. It's after hours. We're pulling a double shift. So I wanted to show you a couple different features. This for the new people, rough in, new construction. At the end of the night, always plug in your lifts. So I wanted to show you on this side, we've ran it and we've just service coils because we have final inspections with the township. So you just won't, you can't have anything laying down. It has to be independently supported by itself. That one's on a wire hanger that we installed. So it looks like a cocoon, but once we spread it out, you can see that bundle there. And let me get to a better spot. So you can see everything is main streets and avenues. We have a couple of J-hooks that we're gonna be branching out individual items to. So here we're at the end of a project, and this is Trenton. Show you a couple key things. Mag lock, push to exit. We're working on the door axis right now. So looks a little bit different nowadays. Beautiful cubicles. They have dual drops in every one. And we have the offices. So the challenges that we had was really high ceilings. We had to work with the different trades. Looking at blueprints as well, we had to go with different counter heights. And then it was really just a challenge, and sometimes even with this little giant has come in handy. Originally when we roughed in the wire, which we had main bundles coming down here, and then splintering out, we just had lifts, scissor lifts. But as you can see, those ceilings are pretty high. The guys are now adjusting some WAPs or APs, whatever you like. Mark has spearheaded the entire project. And let me show you the server room, because the great thing about our projects is the rack build outs. Ooh, I love those. So again, we haven't tackled the offices yet, but I wanted to show people when you're quoting out stuff, you got to figure out the ceiling height, and also how do you maneuver lifts? If they're reusing the ceiling grid, which in portions of this building they are, that's going to really slow you down. So how do we get around that? We just sent a guy with a ladder and string. Now this is their old IT room. So you would think, oh, we'll just reuse this. And this is beautiful ladder trays, ladder racks, however you like it. But no, we're gonna be building that. This guy right here. So, now, I don't wanna hear too many gripes. We don't really have this supported right now. We just roughed in all this cable today. We don't even have a light in here. So what we do is we have fire suppression up there, and we're gonna be building out a rack. So we're gonna come back in a couple weeks when we're all done, and I'm gonna show you a thing of beauty. Some of the key things that I'll point out, we'll just be walking back to the server room. When we don't have WAPs, we'll either ask them, listen, we prefer biscuit boxes, but if they have to have RJ45 heads, we'll do that. So tonight we're going to be putting in the rest of the WAPs, and usually if we don't have the WAPs, we'll just put like a little piece of tape up there or a label signifying. Right now we're just running the certification on all the wiring, and keep in mind that we're roughing in a little bit. So this is the back IT section. and not quite there yet, but we had a couple conference rooms, cores, TVs. We always encourage people with televisions, put HDMI drops in there. I understand that everything is wireless, but really think that's a good idea. So some cores in here. This is the kitchen area. Let's take you back to the IT. Some of our gear. There's wonderful vents. So right now what we're doing here, as I'll show you first, is we're doing the access control. So as Vince is programming the cards, this is the protector server room. You have a reader, you have the lock. Vince, it's locked. And then what we also do is we'll program your cards for you. Hike Vision is what we're actually using. We actually like that. Yeah. Some of the things on here, we're trying out the neat patch panels. You can really cram a lot of things into them. So you can also use the side management and, you can use the side managers, or you can use just smaller patch cables. So what we did was the switches are going in here. So theoretically, they can just jump right down and maybe 1-footers or 2-footers in there, but any excess, you can just put that in the back of these. So we're trying those out. So we separated voice, data, voice, and then we have a T1 connection. This is a 4-post rack that is bolted down to the ground. Then we have the cable tray, wire bundle coming up here. So we check with people, see what their diameters are. We're still dressing this down, but those are pretty punches, ain't they? So we have 1 or 2 wires that we're just dressing in, primarily for the access control. We're working with the fire alarm. Yeah, that's the fire alarm coil. So final inspections are a little bit. Let me just show you a little bit about this. So grounding bar, anything powered. Oh, this is what's unique. So they didn't want to have anything behind here, like just going there. So this is kind of unique. They put the power right up top. I haven't seen that in a long time. So they're just gonna have their power dropping down, and then they're gonna manage that. So I'm gonna get out of everybody's way. Good punches in here. We're cleaning up, and this is wonderful Trenton, and Bill is very excited by this project.